Good morning. It's actually it's late in the morning, 9:30. I've been out for a while, but waiting for maybe to get a little bit warmer up before I go out to eat. It's the high today is expected to be 10 degrees. The overnight low it would take it down to 1 degree last night, according to the forecast. It's probably about 5 or 6 degrees out at the moment. My breakfast would be about the same as usual. And that's my oatmeal and some tea. I did have a couple pieces of my flatbread already and some apple slices to get some food in me. This is the 9th burning on my stove. I was expecting to get at least 8 meals out of it, and the 8th meal was last night. As I said before, according to some testing, I may be able to get as many as 12 out of it, which would be awesome. So I'm just having heat up my water. I don't even need it for it to be boiling. Just need to heat it up, and then I can make my tea and have my cereal. I did think about paddling out today a day early. I've chosen not to. Reason being, it's a high today. It's going to be 10 degrees. The wind's about 14 kilometers, and I'll have a headwind a third of the way, and a tailwind the other 2/3. If I leave tomorrow, the highs will be 17. Which would be a lot nicer to paddle in. The winds will be changing direction, and should have a tailwind for the first third and a headwind on the last 2/3. But with the temperature being a lot warmer tomorrow, it'd be a little bit more comfortable paddling out with. So that's what I'll do. I won't be doing much the day today to walk around the campsite, seeing that any views have changed at all. It's still cloudy outside. I've got a lot more reading I can do, and I'll be doing that. It is a windy morning. The winds are out of the northwest, about 14 kilometers an hour, and that means they're coming across the lake. Still is overcast. I wish I could see some sun. It's about 10:30. The waves falling up on shore. I didn't hear any more thuds yesterday since I tied up my canoe on both the bow and the stern. And I redid my tarp. However, I should think about, instead of using it as a tarp, because they're not calling for any more rain, but instead using it as a windscreen. I could look up with trees. I can put it up under, and because the wind is chilly, it makes it feel colder than what it really is. Well, this will be a do nothing day. My hammock came down yesterday. Hasn't been up since. When I got here on Tuesday, it was about 13 degrees out. It wasn't too bad to sit in my hammock, but yesterday it only hit about 9, and that's a bit chilly to be sitting in my hammock reading. Well, it's Thursday. It's about 2:45. I finished the lunch. I didn't have breakfast till 9:30, so I didn't have lunch until after 2 o'clock. So that's all done. Just had to do a few chores. The high today was supposed to be 10 degrees, and usually that high happens between 2 and 3 o'clock, which is now. It does look sunny out. Well, it is, well, there's blue sky out anyway. It does look nice. There is still a cool wind blowing off the lake, but it's time to get some chores done. Campfire tonight. I've got some smaller pizzas here and mid ones and some large pizzas, so I'm all set for that. The firewood that was here when I got here is still there. I haven't touched it, and I would like to leave some of this for the next set of campers. The park is open till the end of October, and this being the Thanksgiving weekend approaching, I expect people to be out here, whether on this site or not, I'm not sure, but it's always a good thing to leave firewood for them. Last night my heater, sometime during the night, went out. I didn't have it quite filled. This time it's filled all the way up, so it'll run for 16 hours, which is more than I need it for. So that chore has been done. Last thing I have left to do is not calling for any more rain, so I don't need a tarp over top of here for shelter. But the wind coming in from this direction here, from the northwest, I want to use it as a wind block. Now that will only work for tonight. Tomorrow morning, the wind's going to be changing, coming out of the south. But it'll be a warmer wind because they're all calling for highs tomorrow of 16. So I'm going to figure out a way to set this tarp up so it's a screen here, and we'll see how that goes. Still sunny out, which is great. However, it's still windy out, which is not so great. I did the last of my chores. My windscreen is now up. Those of you that are interested, down here is a tarbuck knot, so I can tighten the ropes there. I do have a center line here. There's two ways you can do that. Put it over top of the tarp, or put it underneath. I put it underneath. I could have used a Prusik knot here instead of, like, what I did here is 2 half hitches on a grommet saver to the tree, quick and easy. I could have done what's called a Prusik knot, attach it here, and it goes on to under here, and you can pull along, and friction will hold it out. But I chose just to go this way. Now I can come inside here, and yes, I don't have a view of the lake there. I have to look over this way for a nice view of the lake, but the wind that's coming in is blocked, and it makes a big difference. So I can sit out here and read instead of being in my tent or whatever. So this will be good. I can take the hood off and do some reading out here. I'm sure this won't hold very long, because if the wind comes, it'll blow, and I'm pretty sure this will fall down. For the time being, to have a bit more space underneath here, I can use my paddle as a as a support. I'm lost for words sometimes. Makes a big difference though. When I was having lunch a few minutes ago, sitting in the wind, I felt chilly. Now I'm sitting down and still, but without the wind, I'm not feeling chilly. Tomorrow morning, I'll be having breakfast and packing up. The winds are changing direction actually overnight. Right now they're out of the north. Tomorrow they'll come out of the south, which is why it'll be a bit warmer out tomorrow, highs of 17. But it does mean though that when I'm paddling out, I have to paddle out here to the point and around. I'll have the wind at my back. I'm going on the point. I think it'll be mostly blocked by the land. But then the last 2 kilometers, or kilometer and a half, I guess it would be, I'll be paddling against the wind, which for me is par for the course. I've very seldom do I have a tailwind. But it'd be nicer out tomorrow. The weather will be it'll be sunny out, partly sunny I guess, but a lot warmer, and it'd be actually a nice fall day for paddling. I have to admit, this is probably the chilliest that I've been out on a canoe trip. A couple of years ago, I was out on Round Lake, also in the North Frontenac Parklands, the first week of October, right before Thanksgiving weekend. It went down to 3 degrees at night then, which is similar to what we had here, 2 and 1. But in the daytime, the sun was out, and it would warm up to be 15, 16 degrees out. And it was actually nice, and there were a lot more colors there, and I had some nice sunsets. Here, so yesterday was the high of 9, and today it's only going to be a high of 10. And there is a breeze out of the northwest, which makes it. I'm not sure what that makes the wind chill, but it's chillier. Most of the day today, I'm just going to be reading. I've got my book, Whispers of the Night Wind, Adam Scholl's book. I believe this is the second book that he wrote, maybe his third. It's the last of the 5 of his that I haven't read. He has a new book coming out next year, again talking about a trip up to the Arctic Way, which is a favorite pastime of his. And I'm sure he'd be saying that this is balmy weather out now. But anyway, I'm still enjoying things. I still laugh, and all is good. So I'm just gonna do some reading. There we go. It's about 5:15. Just getting ready to have some supper. It is sunny out and very few clouds, so I might have a nice sunset. But it is chilly. It's reaches high of 10 degrees. It's probably about 9 degrees at the moment. I do have a shelter up here, a windscreen. Supper tonight will be a simple one. I've got some spaghetti sauce there, rehydrating, and some hamburger and some spaghetti. This will be meal number 10 on the fuel bottle. We'll see if it goes for the full 10 for the full meal. I do have another bottle here somewhere. Yeah, I have another bottle right here ready to go in case I don't get a 10 out of it. So far so good. This could be the 10th meal. I was hoping to get at least 4 out of it. 4 nights, I mean. This will be the 5th night. So I'm happy with the stove. This is only the second trip I've had it out. But so far I'm happy with it. Oh, I just turned it off. That's meal number 10, which means that at least on a 5-day trip, it'd be good. I'm just gonna be the last thing I made after my spaghetti. I just brewed some tea, so it actually ran longer than usual. I'm still getting used to the settings on it. I didn't have it on a high setting to make my spaghetti, so it took longer to boil. I had to turn it up again, but it's something I'll be getting used to. But like I said, that's meal number 10, which means 5 days. There's still fuel left in it. I've got one more meal tomorrow morning before I pack out. It's number 11. I have an odd number of meals because, of course, when I bought the unit, stove, when I got home, I had to check it out, make sure I knew how to operate it and everything. So I took it out in my backyard and boil some water for some tea, so that counts as a meal. So, because it would be the same thing as boiling water for tea as it would be as boiling water for my oatmeal in the morning. So 10 so far. 2 of the meals are longer because 2 of the meals I had spaghetti, so I'm boiling. The water's actually boiling, so it takes a few minutes for it to boil, and then I cook it for about roughly 4 to 5 minutes. So those were longer meals. The rest of the time was just basically boiling water. Even when I had the tacos, I basically just had to reheat the ground beef, which doesn't take very long. So so far that's good. Now I'm going to enjoy my tea before it gets cold. It's all quiet here at 6:30 on Round Schooner Lake. Very quiet. No wind. The wind's supposed to pick up tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully I'll be back at my car by that time. It looks so peaceful, quiet. Beautiful. It's about as good as life gets. A fire by the lakeside. This will be my last backcountry campfire of the year. I don't usually take out my canoe past the Thanksgiving weekend, which is coming up. I do go camping all year long. I'm hoping to have a trip somewhere in November. Good Friday morning. It's 7:30. I'm up. I'm just packed up my sleeping bag and my sleeping pad, and ready to go to do the morning thing, and just come down to the water and to have a view of this. Awesome sight to wake up to in the morning. They are calling for higher winds this afternoon. I'm going to have some breakfast and pack up. Hopefully be out of here before 9. And if I can get this peaceful, no wind, no waves, it'll be an awesome paddle. Well, this is my regular breakfast. Oatmeal with cranberries in it. And I'll be having some tea as soon as I get my water hot enough. Just some herbal tea. Sorry for doing all the counting, but this is my first bit with the new stove, and I am curious as to how many meals I can get out of it. As I said before, this will be meal number 11. I did have to push the start here, the ignition 3 times before it would go. Chances are this is a 230 gram canister. You get them in 100s, which will probably last you for 2 or 3 days. They also have one that's, I believe it's a 450 $150, which would of course last about twice as long. So breakfast, and it's still calm. Packing out shouldn't take too long to do. I don't race through it, but right now I'll just enjoy the mist. It's supposed to go up to about 17 degrees today. Obviously it's not that now. I'm still wearing a hat, and I'll put gloves on when I finish filming. But it was toasty warm in my tent last night with my heater, and I do have it well vented, as I often say. It's still on. I don't have it on full. I'm just getting my water hot enough for my tea and my oatmeal. Everything's all packed up. This is where my tent was. You can see a bit of a spot here where the tent pad actually was. Always leave your site nicer than when you left it. For me, that was very difficult because it already was a nice site without any litter. Fire, of course, is out. Left some wood here for the next set of campers, plus the wood that was already here when I got here. There is only one grill on the site, which is kind of nice. This park is open until the end of October, so it is very likely, especially this coming weekend is Thanksgiving weekend, that there will be people out here camping, whether they're on this site or another site on the lake. I don't know. All my gear, water's still nice and calm. All my gear is down here. Everything's in my bag here. The smaller bag here has my camera gear, water bottles in it, and my bear ball. The extra bag here is because I know it's going to be chilly out, so I bring a heater in with me. One of the advantages of having no portaging. The only thing left to do is for me to untie my canoe and then push off. My gear is all loaded. Canoe's in the water. As you notice, my foot is on this seat. I'm always apprehensive about when I was loading the boat that it might float off without me. So I always make sure I either have a hold of the rope or paddle in there, holding onto that with my foot on there. Anyway, the water's still calm. It's 9 o'clock. It hasn't warmed up quite yet, but looks like a nice fall day, and I'm heading out. It's 10:30. I just pulled up on the shore of the access point. Water here is nice and calm, just like it was on Round Schooner Lake. It was a bit choppy as I turned the bend out of the narrows into North Schooner. It got a bit choppy around the islands there. The only issue that I had was about 200 meters away from here, I started getting cramps in one of my legs, so I pulled up on shore, which is, I think it's where I campsite, I believe it's 27, and walked along the shoreline there. There's a little beach area there, walked along there for about 10-15 minutes or so to walk off the cramp, and then got back out here. It's a nice day out. It's a bit chilly this morning when I woke up and had breakfast. The sun's out. It's a glorious fall day today. And I mean, look at this view here. Yeah, the day I paddled in was nice out. The day I'm paddling out was also nice out. The 2 full days at the campsite were a bit on the chilly side. But it's all worth it. This is, I mean, just look at this. want to thank you all for watching another Camper 69 video. And if you like the video, please click on the like. It helps other people to find my page. And if you like to, please subscribe to my account. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time.